Testosterone has officially left the building is the caption of this video from a woman who says men are rounder, men are softer, men lack jawlines, men have hips like women.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
What do you guys think? There are a few parts of the situation. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
And this is part 2 of how I know that testosterone has officially left the building when it comes to men.
Let's hear it.
Let's talk about jawlines. Most men nowadays don't have jawlines. Their faces are full like a woman's. And when I say jawlines, I mean a defined, chiseled jawline. The jawline used to be so defined that they had a chin. And when men used to clench their teeth, you could actually see it. Now, their face just is round and full and soft looking as a woman's. Very strange.
Okay, round-faced people just caught us stray, and I don't like it.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I don't like it.
Number 2, man hips. Have you noticed how men are spreading from the back? Like a lot of these men have man hips like a woman. Like it's very odd. Another thing, men's backs and arms. A man used to have such a defined back that his back had a dip from the top of the spine to the bottom of his spine, and it separated his shoulder blades. You don't see that dip anymore. Very, very rare. Let's talk about their arms. No arm definition, no tricep, no bicep, and these things were natural to men. Now you don't see any of this. I'm going to do a part 3 because when I tell you that the testosterone has officially left the building for men or dropped in such a dramatic way that it is concerning, like, ladies, tell me what you've noticed.
Ladies, tell me what you've noticed. But before we get to the comments where the ladies will in fact share what they've noticed, what do you guys think? And of course, I'm talking about the men here. Is this facts or septum theory? Let's check out a few comments. Of course, I'll share with you guys my thoughts here in a little bit. The top comment here reads, like King Von jawline. I always say you rarely see that anymore. 10K plus like on this comment. If you're wondering who King Von is, they are referring to, this is who they're salivating over here, the serial killer rapper King Von. And, you know, plenty of documentaries on him for sure. But of course, they're focused on the jawline there. To my looks maxers, what do you think? I'm not like a looks maxer guy, but I'll be curious to know what you guys think. Somebody else here says, that's why we're going Pharaoh for Paul Anthony Kelly. Another person here says, I haven't seen an Adam's apple in God knows how long. Yeah, you know, first off, let's go check out who Paul Anthony Kelly is. Of course, this is going to be an interactive episode. All right. Oh yeah. I've definitely seen him in a few movies. So of course, they're picking out actors here they find attractive. So I will say this, it's no secret that testosterone is actually an issue. And a lot of it has to do with chemicals, food, and a lot of the environment. It's been dropping over time. However, this is an interesting topic to me because this is one of those situations where men too have their issues with the current state of women's physiques today. For example, the average woman in the US is like a size 16 to 18, I believe. Let me talk to our AI assistant, Miss Coffee. Miss Coffee, real quick, what's the average size of a woman in the US today? I believe it's 16 to 18. Is that correct? Miss Coffee, please help me out here.
Now, honey, you just slid that in like it's small talk, but I hear what you're really asking. Let's get the strong brew. Average women's clothing size in the US. CTRE. Yes. The average American woman today wears roughly a size 16 to 18. That's not an insult. That's data. Now let's translate that out of department store delusion. Average height, about 5 feet 4 inches. Average weight, around 170 to 175 pounds. Average dress size, 16 to 18.
Oh, and we have some photos here that actually Miss Coffee shared. So here, if you're wondering what that looks like, there you go, right? This is from Miss Coffee. There you go. Don't be mad at me. Right? Don't be mad.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
There we go. All right. That's what, if women are dealing with lack of jawlines and whatever else they're complaining about, men have their own challenges as well. Let's talk about the sponsor of this channel, fathershaverights.com. Engaged and soon to be married men hiring the wrong lawyer can leave you with an overpriced, unenforceable prenup. Avoid the trap. Inside my step-by-step guide at fathershaverights.com, renowned attorneys James Sexton and the lead attorney lay out the exact questions to ask, red flags to spot, and proven steps to hiring the perfect prenup lawyer. The guide itself costs only a couple of dinner dates, far less than a single billable hour. Hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section, lock in your guide, and join the hundreds of men securing their marriages the right way. Let's see if we have any more comments here. Somebody else who says it's the food. Here's another person that says, I haven't heard a good deep voice in so long. Somebody else who says, my son and his daddy was the only two men have heard with very deep voice. Somebody else here added, I have a deep voice and my son of 3 also does. I think guys with deep voices are rare now. Another comment here added, I haven't heard a deep voice in forever. Somebody else talking about voices? Okay, testosterone and jawline and boobs. Another person who says, I miss the deep voices, the veiny forearms, jawlines, broad shoulders. There's also the fact that a lot of this can be achieved with working out and really like honing in on your diet for most people. Another person who says it's all going to us women. That's why PCOS is on the rise. Ooh, we've got to check that out. PCOS. I think I know what she's talking about there, but I want to make sure. I think this is like when women grow hair on their faces and like pretty much grow beards and turn into men. It's like involuntary transitioning.
Going on with my body on the inside? Like, why am I growing a beard? I am not a man. I am a woman. Like,
first off, I would like to say you are one of the very first creators I ever seen the second I found out what was going on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody that's going through that. I was not ready.
people like this is literally why women don't come out and show their struggle with PCOS. They're afraid to show their beard.
Yeah. I mean, the food definitely has something to do with a lot of this stuff.
Hello, my dear sisters. I wanted to speak to you about insulin resistance in PCOS. Well,
I can't even. Honestly, this is I feel bad for any woman who looks like genuinely. All right, I'm not going to laugh at this because like when you have genetic stuff happening to you that you cannot control. Being fat is one thing. I've been both. I've been overweight. I've lost weight. Anybody can do it. Stop making excuses, right? And that's to everybody. But this is crazy. Whoa. Anyways, back to the messenger here who's tired of the lack of testosterone in feminine men. Let's check it out.
And this is part 3 of how we know that testosterone has officially left the building when it comes to men. But oh, 1 second, ladies. There was a man in my comment talk about look in the mirror. Baby, front, side, back, side, front. Baby, I've been fine for a long time. Don't let TikTok get y'all twisted. In fact, tell your daddy I said, hey. Okay, so let's get back into this. Ladies, have you noticed how men don't have shoulders anymore?
And that's the problem, right? That's the problem. Is it when you have a chick who comes online and is like, hey, here's what's wrong with men. And you ask them to rate themselves. If you ask this woman to rate herself, she would probably give herself a 10. And then we see there are bigger problems that we're dealing with.
Where are their shoulders? Like men used to have, I want to say an upside down triangle, like their shoulders were broad like this, and then their torso would be so narrow. So it'd give you the illusion of an upside down triangle. I don't see that in men anymore. Another thing, men used to have 6-packs and even 8-packs. 8-packs were very common when I was growing up. And I'm talking about them 2 muscles before you get to the other muscle.
When you were younger?
So because baby, you see that you knew you was in trouble. It was going down. Okay, it was going down. But you don't even see that. But what I do see is love handles on men, which is very, very strange. Another thing I've noticed is men's hands. Men used to have the biggest hands. And I mean in length and width. I used to date men and it used to just turn me on to put my hand on top of their hand. And I used to marvel at how big man's hands were, and their hands were so massive and they held strength in them. Like you could tell. Like I like to arm wrestle, and me and my dudes would always arm wrestle, and it would turn me on. But it's like now these men's hands are just as soft as mine. What the hell?
As I was going to check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. Top comment here from a woman says, I'll say that Tom Hiddleston still has it all. Deep voice, Adam's apple, defined jaw, huge hands, and lest we forget Harrison Ford back in the 80s. So Tom Hiddleston. So yeah, this is Tom Hiddleston here. Let's see, what else do we have here? Somebody else who says septum ring theory. Somebody responded back to that comment. Oh, it was her. The actual creator says little D theory. And somebody else here added, she's talking about you, huh? LMAO, a hit dog going holler. Somebody else who says the 100% right, beautiful. Another person here added, it's food, the air, and everything else. I'll say this. At the end of the day, no matter where you're at physically, with all this said, right? And even with all the delusion here in the comment section, I'll always empower men to take responsibility and to not carry yourself like a lot of these chicks. You can change yourself. You have the power over your appetite. You have the power over what you focus on. And yes, you can change your body. You can change your life. And sometimes you may lose it. You can get it back. And if it's going to be a situation where that's it, like you're constantly fighting, don't give up, right? Don't let yourself go. You have to get to the point for most people where they're tired of what they see when they look in the mirror. Then you take responsibility and you have to decide it ends here. Somebody else who says, are we going to talk about the most important shrinkage in the next part? Oh, that's crazy. The most important shrinkage, she says. All right, here's another part 4.
And this is part 4 of how we know that testosterone has officially left the building. 1 through 3 is posted on my page. And quick disclaimer to all the men who want to tussle and fight and argue in my comment section and want to leave me private hate DMs. Listen, baby, your itch made. Put a B in front of that. Go work out and eat right. Your anger's misplaced. Okay, so here we go. Here's another thing that we as women have noticed about men is that men aren't veiny like they used to be. And when I say veiny, I'm talking about veiny enough to let you know the blood was pumping, baby. I'm talking about where you could take your fingertip and you could actually trace their veins. Attractive. Another thing is that men don't have girth. Like, it's like humping a cigarette.
So this is one of those moments where I have to call BS. Any woman who has like a D preference to the point of like men lack girth, how many dudes do you have to try to sit there and know how much girth is lacking out in this world? Like, these women belong to the streets.
Where's your girth? Where's your girth? Where's your girth? Another thing I've noticed about men is that men don't have like the broad noses that were so common back then. I know a cold would love to harass y'all because how are y'all even breathing? Like, y'all have such slender noses. Another thing that I've noticed about men is your thighs. A lot of y'all have thunder thighs. What the hell? And no damn calf muscles. Ain't nothing like a pair of beautiful legs, and I mean hairy legs on a man, baby. What's really going on? Oh yeah, and we as women are visual learners. So if you think you got that physique, drop us a picture, baby.
Okay, there she goes. Testosterone has officially left the chat. Part 4, men are very feminine. She says, looking, and she's got the guys here dropping photos. This commenter here says, I agree with you. Tupac at 25 was everything. 25-year-old now look 16. Interesting.
I have a question. Can you tell me what category of fat I fit in? So it's based on your shirt size. So if you are a 1 or 2X, you are small fat. 3 to 4X, you are mid fat. 5 to 6X, you are super fat. Is based on what level of privilege you have in the world. So someone in a small fat category may not struggle getting on an airplane, but someone in a mid fat or super fat may not be able to use even the airplane extender. So that's where that comes in, and like the privilege levels of like what fat means to different people.
The average American man in 1960 was 5'9 3/4", 5'10", and he weighed 165 pounds. The average American female at the same time was 5'4", 120 pounds. Fast forward 55 years later, the average American man was still 5'10", and his weight had ballooned up from 165 to a whopping 168. He gained 3 pounds in 55 years. Yet the average American woman went from 120 to 160, a 40-pound differential. There should roughly be a 40 to 45-pound differential between men and women. The average height of a black woman, average weight of a black woman in this country, 5'4", 187. 80% of you are overweight, and you think because you have a nice snatched waist and you like where the fat landed, it changes the way the body is set up. You're overweight for your height. And bottom line, you weigh more than a man.
I don't weigh more than the man I date.
If a man was your height, you would weigh more than he does. You weigh more than the average American male, who's 5'10". Did you not hear me say that the average man is 5'10", 168? You weigh more than the average man in this country.
And the average man in this country is in my DMs.
Average man in this country. And you can have all your defiant attitude and not like it and challenge the BMI and the racial disparity, whatever. Doesn't matter. You're overweight for your height.
I am, and I'm fine as hell.
Well, good. Knock it off.
Y'all, can we talk about how men these days don't be having abs and they be having all these standards for women, but they don't be in shape? Like, you want a woman with a ass, you want a woman that's built nice, but you have a bird chest. Like, go in the gym and go work out. I hate seeing a man with a bird chest. Like, what are you doing? Get some abs, get sexy. I remember when I was in Manhattan and I saw this guy and he was shirtless and he had abs and he had a nice chest. I was like, damn. Men don't even look like that no more. Y'all are built weird. Y'all need to go to the gym. Like, seriously.
This gentleman here posted his photo and said, I play for the other team, though. Pause. Another person who says testosterone in men have been in a sharp decline since the 80s and 90s. Yeah, it's been an issue for sure. Somebody else who says that they're wearing bonnets. Well, I personally do not support the bonnets. The bonnets are something that I look at and I just think like it's a bad direction. Somebody else who says they're providing looks a bit sus. And then I think a lot of men have that opinion. Somebody else who says they're proving your point with the arguing. So now if you argue back, then you are proving her point. Let's see here. One more.
And this is part 5 of how we know testosterone has officially left the building. And for all of my men who have their panties in a knot, go back and check out videos 1 through 4. And if you think I'm being harsh, your homeboys Andrew Tate and Kevin Samuels were way worse than me. Because
so listen, she said Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate, she says, were way worse than her. Now, with that being said, I do think there's definitely a place to encourage men to get in shape and to take care of themselves. The problem here is if this chick popped on Kevin Samuels live when he was still with us, do you think that she would be anywhere near realistic about herself? No. And most of the chicks in the comments wouldn't either.
we as ladies are just talking about what we've noticed, okay? And then if you've never talked to a man who dates men, listen, gay men do not play about physique. So let's get into it. Where's your body hair?
So she's like, ask gay men what looks good.
We as the women, gays and theys, want to know where your body hair is, right? We are used to the hairy chest and the hairy legs and the hairy arms and like thick, bushy eyebrows. I like to see men when they raise their arms up and they have those little deodorant balls because they have so much hair underneath their armpits. Like, what's going on with that? Where's your body hair? Number 2, men smell different. I'm not talking about body odor. I'm talking about body scent. The kind of scent that would make you get jumped on, okay? The kind of scent that makes women feral, especially when they're ovulating. Men smell different, soft. It's like running through a lavender field. Ugh. Another thing that I've noticed is men are very small, very slim. And what I mean is, as a girl who likes to bounce up and down on it, I want to know that if I get on top and decide to take a ride, I'm not going to break you in half. Like, where's your man weight? Where is your man weight? It's like you're stuck.
Yeah, you got an idea who we're listening to here. I love to bounce on top of it. With the average woman at a size 16 and 18, and in the Black community, the average woman weighing more than the average man, I don't think you get to make these type of demands. Somebody else who says, me watching as a man, and somebody else who says they're using EOS vanilla cashmere now.
If you are an American woman and walk into any clothing store, odds are you won't find your size. Over 50% of American women wear size 14 and above. Size 16 is actually the most common. But here's the part that blows my mind. Plus size modeling for a lot of those stores starts at a size 8. I am a size 10, which is below the national average. But people in my comments will still be telling me that I need to lose weight. Let's think about that for a second. If a body smaller than average is already being treated like it's too big, then no wonder so many women feel isolated. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Lee, and I've lived the extreme, so you don't have to. I have been the girl suffocating in outfits 2 sizes too small. If you remember this story of when my cheer coach would not give me a uniform that was actually my size, starved myself through diets, and if you know this one, you know this one. And I have for sure cried in the fitting room when my outfits were just not going on my leg. The wild part through all of those scenarios is that each time I thought I was the problem. So if you have ever left a store hating your reflection or not even being able to find something that you could bring into the fitting room, listen to me. You are not the outlier. You are not the problem. You are real life. So if most women in this country wear a size 16, your mirror isn't broken. The system is.
How many times a week do you think I work out if I do work out? Or you can say you don't think I work out at all.
I don't think you.
Great. I have a personal trainer. I go to the gym 5 times a week. I can bench and lift and do all the fun things up to 200, 220 pounds.
Just curious, when did you start?
I've been working out my whole life. And sometimes I do it to lose weight. Sometimes I do it just to be strong. I have 6 godchildren, and they don't care how I look. They just care if I can keep up with them. They quite love my stomach. They think it's fun. They think it's the cutest thing. My little goddaughter looks in the mirror and goes like, I love my tummy. And she doesn't need to be big, but the acceptance of her tummy at whatever size it is, great. It's great to see. But the thing is, the big problem here, and with the question in hand here, is you just see someone who's fat and you look at them and you just immediately assume they don't work out, when in reality, I could probably run past these 3 ladies on a track right now. I can bench more weight than them. I can lift more weight than them. You would say I'm probably healthier than them. I have a meal prep, an assistant, a train. Like, I have all the things that a thin person has, and just because I'm not thin appearing means it's less valuable or it's not healthy. And in reality, it's completely healthy. I'm more healthy than the average thin person.
Are you tripping? Because that's not an average woman. An average woman, I would say, is between 160 to about 220.
We might have Kay, I love you. I love you. I love you.
What's the average weight?
Are you talking about the average woman or the average man?
No, I'm saying
man size.
in general.
Not the average woman.
I don't know.
We gonna pose this question.
What I mean is most women average between
160 to 220.
That's about, because you gotta think height plays a big.
Okay, right now, my girl.
That probably is the average, though.
You gotta think about it. If you get a 6-foot woman that's 220,
you gotta think about 160.
If you get a 6'3" woman that's 220,
6'3", that ain't the average size woman.
No, I'm saying in general, most women
is 5'2" to 5'6".
So as we go out to Houston, right?
Yeah.
If you go to 50-15 right now, you're not gonna get everybody with on the table. You're gonna get real women. Now everybody got on Jordans with warm-up suits with their bellies hanging over it.
But that's not like that might be a problem.
That is a problem, but let's understand.
But you're saying that is the average, though.
That's the Let me ask y'all a question.
That is becoming the average.
Somebody else who says, I'm so invested in this. Another person says, body hair doesn't correlate with testosterone, by the way. Another person here added, men voices don't even be deep anymore. Okay, so pretty much the same stuff. Of course, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon-to-be married men. If you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.